Former President Trump has made immigration a key campaign issue, but a part of our border that isn't talked about much, the northern border. Some sectors are seeing 10-year highs in Border Patrol encounters. In tonight's Prime Focus, our Mireya Villarreal embedded with the Department of Homeland Security to see the unique challenges teams face along this rugged but beautiful stretch of land.
So this is a multi-year case. We did a lot of surveillance, took us all the way down to California. One of the key aspects of this case was that they would order Uber services. They would tell the people to cross the border, go this direction until you hit a road, sometimes in the cold, in the forest. I mean, there's nothing out there.
The details of this case laid out in a federal criminal complaint that led to a guilty plea, fine, and prison time.
They were able to get into the Uber. It would take them to a predestined location that was already input by the smuggler.
Already paid for.
Already paid for. And then they would meet them there and then begin that process of relocating them down to California.
You're looking at evidence collected by Border Patrol agents and Homeland Security investigators working to uncover and stop sophisticated human smuggling rings. HSI worked closely with Border Patrol, the Blaine Port Authority, and partners in Canada to take this smuggling ring down. It surfaced in 2018, quieted during the pandemic, and ramped back up after COVID. According to a federal complaint, investigators uncovered they had 17 connected Uber accounts that ordered more than 600 rides, racking up more than $80,000 in charges. But this didn't happen here along the southern border. It happened thousands of miles away, set within a picturesque backdrop that includes acres of towering trees and the Pacific Ocean shoreline. This is our country's northern border.
We've talked about the southern border, right? But it's everywhere. There's an increase in awareness because it's being localized better. It's not just a problem that's thousands of miles away. It's here.
Robert Hammer is HSI's special agent in charge of the Pacific Northwest.
Criminal investigations in the Pacific Northwest in general have been booming ever since the post-COVID restrictions have been lifted.
In 2023, this sector saw more than a 10-year high for Border Patrol encounters, and they're on pace to exceed that number in 2024. Thousands of people attempting to cross from Canada into the state of Washington undetected. HSI says many of them are from India, paying between $5,000 and $20,000 to be smuggled in.
They're recruiting. They have accounts dedicated towards advertising their smuggling services back in India so they can be smuggled in. And that's being marketed on these social media platforms. And so there's a constant game where we need to identify those, see who's operating those accounts, and working with the platforms to identify those account owners. It really speaks to the ingenuity, the creativity that these smugglers are coming up with in order to move this number of people.
How many people are we talking about?
And this organization was responsible for over 800 individuals coming in.
And how much money are we talking about here?
Pled guilty to accepting over $500,000 in smuggling fees.
And this is where it all starts, the lush green fields of Washington State.
We put in a different barrier in a residential neighborhood, and that was to prevent vehicles from driving into the neighborhood because they were driving across homes that are in the U.S., driving through their backyards and through their front yards to make an entry.
Smugglers?
Yes, smugglers.
We rode along with Border Patrol Sector Chief Rosario Vasquez. His agents cover all of Alaska, Oregon, and the western half of Washington State. The northern border is more than 5,000 miles long. That's twice the size of the southern border. And the biggest differences are really the barriers along these borders and also the terrain. Here in the Blaine sector, with Canada just feet away, they're actually on pace to see twice as many apprehensions as they did last year.
Since the borders reopened after COVID, Blaine sector has been on an increase. The whole northern border has kind of been on an increase since 2022 when the border opened. So from 2022 to now, we're about 500% higher in encounters.
That seems like a big number.
Yeah, we had approximately 500 in 2022, and this year we're projected to hit over 3,000 arrest encounters for Blaine sector.
The numbers may not seem like a big deal in comparison to what we've seen along the southern border, but resources are limited here. Budgets have been cut, and a lot of agents were moved to the southern border over the last few years to help with their influx. But human and drug smuggling attempts and seizures aren't just happening along the physical border. They're also happening here at the Blaine port of entry that separates the United States from Canada.
So these are the primary booths. We have 3 booths here. At the moment, there's only 2 open.
Okay.
On an average day, we'll see anywhere from 800 to 1,400 trucks coming through.
Since 2021, the northern border has also seen a sharp increase in the number of people trying to cross into the U.S. that are on the terror watch list. In 2023 and 2024, terror watch list apprehensions were more than 6 times higher than what the southern border reported.
We are seeing these numbers rise. What is that saying to you?
Threat is everywhere. There are people that we do not want in our country. On any given day, there are folks that we do not let in that are known as either associates or connection to terror groups.
Agents at the port scan and search everyday traffic and commercial vehicles. They're also in charge of inspecting freight that comes through our border by train.
Last year, we encountered approximately 70 undocumented individuals from Mexico. Some of these carts or hoppers, they're full of them, 24, 25 individuals at one time. We've had 14, couple hiding in the places. Now, we're doing the best of all possible worlds. We're doing the best that we can with the given resources. I need money, I need facilities. We're 10 years behind. Technology is moving at a fast pace. Our infrastructure, the backbone, isn't there yet.
The uncertainty of who will run our country and how they will approach Homeland Security has left places like this in limbo, desperate for more funding and resources, yet living out the mission every day to protect our nation at all costs.
In grand scheme of things, yes, the northern border is safe. Can I guarantee that? Absolutely not. It's wide open. It's probably one of the world's largest unprotected borders. I think in the end of the day, no matter what the political tensions are, protecting our borders and protecting our nation is a priority.
A big concern at the north and southern border as well. Our thanks to Mireya.